The Northern Lights have long fascinated the people of Alaska. Legends about the aurora's power pervade native folklore. But is there a sinister truth behind the tales? Could a version of these lights be affecting people like Stephanie and contributing to the rash of missing in the Alaska Triangle? And could that version be man-made? A connection has been made to HAARP, a secret government outpost first built in 1993, which is reported to study the effects of radiation beamed into the ionosphere.
This is their official brochure that they put out. And the way it's worded, I mean, you can't really understand what they're saying, what they're up to. And the internet is flooded with conspiracies about that place. After making the HAARP connection, we began to follow that lead. Tommy reached out to HAARP in order to request a tour of the facility, while I got online and downloaded articles about the organization from the internet. I don't really know the science behind all this stuff. There's probably very few people that honestly do, you know?
Well, how could you? They make it almost unreadable.
Ken and Jax go to meet Dr. Nick Begich Jr., an activist and author who has spent the last 2 decades working to expose HAARP's secrets.
Hey guys, good to see you.
Ken, we're hoping to get more information from Nick about what HAARP really is, and whether in fact it poses any type of threat to the population.
Can you kind of explain what HAARP is and how it works, the science behind it?
Sure, it is essentially a radio transmitter, but it's not like a single antenna radio transmitter. When you think about radio transmitters, the energy from a transmitter comes off of the source point, spreads out very rapidly, and so it becomes less and less dense with distance. So the further you get away from a radio tower, the weaker the signal.
Sure.
With HAARP, it flips this around. 180 antennas fire in a specific sequence, causes the energy to focus, creates what's called a cyclotron resonance, which if you could visualize this, it would look like a corkscrewing motion of energy that gets smaller and smaller and smaller as it gets higher and higher and higher. So the further out you get, and the stronger that focus, then you're able to affect environmental systems.
The description that Dr. Begich is giving matches what Ken and Tommy heard. Focus energy might excite particles in the atmosphere, which might show up as artificial auroras. We've heard that they can recreate the auroras. Is that true?
There is a way to create a lighting effect, but what HAARP is all about is weapons applications, weather modification being one of many.
Wow, that's crazy stuff, man.
It's scary, too.
The idea of using weather as a weapon sounds pretty wild. But even if HAARP is doing something as simple as heating pockets of air in the sky, like a microwave heats food, that would affect pressure differentials in the atmosphere, which in turn would alter wind patterns, affect cloud formations, maybe even trigger a violent storm. Do you think that something like this, the energy, the auroras, would have some type of effect on humans?
It can do exactly that. You and I can pick that signal out. The brain will lock onto it like dialing in a radio station.
Like we could hear something beamed into our brain?
The right signal will affect you on a cellular level. You could calm the population or agitate them. The issue of mind control, I'm going to demonstrate that here in a minute for you guys. That just kind of illustrates the transfer of sound directly into the human being from something other than the ears.
Nick pulls out a device that he says is going to demonstrate remote effects on the brain in a safe way. But I've got to admit, I'm rather nervous about this.
What's going to happen is the sound's going to come in through these 2 transducers. So block your ears tightly so you can't hear anything external. So I want you to hold that in your hand. Touch his hand. There you go.
That's weird. So Nick does this demonstration where he's able to somehow resonate music into my head from Jax's body without any music playing out loud. This is really weird.
And then the idea of taking the jump from this to a wireless version of this, HAARP could be utilized in that way. Any part of the electromagnetic spectrum can be pulsed, manipulated in specific ways to couple with the human body and create these kinds of consciousness effects.
And mostly theories, or do you think this stuff has been
These
done?
aren't theories. These, anyone who's read my work, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of source documents cited. You can look at the 2006 protocols for the Navy. We're moving away from bombs, bullets, and ordnance towards mind control. Using those words is right in there.
Anxious to get a first-hand look at the HAARP facility, the team plots the best way to get there.
Where are we at?
Gakona is here, and the HAARP facility is about 8 miles outside of that.
We still haven't heard from HAARP, and online there are reports saying the facility is shut down. But we still want to check it out, so we decided we're going to go up there and have a look, even though we don't have permission.
I'd be really interested in taking some readings, because I think, you know, if they're technically shut down, then we shouldn't be getting any readings on any instrumentation or something.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah? We think that a covert investigation into HAARP might give us some insight into what happened to Stephanie and some of the other missing people in Alaska, as well as answering some of the questions raised by Dr. Begich. It's a risk to go there uninvited, but it's a risk we've got to take.
Alaska, a land of massive mountains, immense forests, and huge numbers of missing people. More than 3,000 per year are reported lost in this vast expanse. Could some of them be victims of mind control? The government-run HAARP facility is known to pour massive amounts of radiation into the skies, and they're not alone. Similar facilities have sprung up the world over. Japan, China, India, Norway, Brazil, Peru. The list goes on. The original version, Surah, was built by the Soviet Union in the early 80s. Like HAARP, they claim to be studying radio waves in the upper atmosphere. But some people believe their true goal was spy technology. With Surah able to eavesdrop on any wireless communication around the world, with similar claims being leveled at HAARP, the team wants to know what's truly happening at this secret facility.
Ken, it's looking by the odometer here. We're about 2 miles out.
The possible effects of a facility like HAARP are pretty frightening. A study in Russia showed that a rise in geomagnetic activity, which causes auroras, translated to a rise in anxiety, depression, even suicide. Is that what Surah was trying to duplicate?
Transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS, involves placing a magnetic coil near the patient's head and sending calculated magnetic impulses into their brain. TMS can alter mood, affect the ability to speak, and even trigger physical movements of the extremities. If those results can be achieved with a single coil, what is possible with a massive antenna array? After having to abort their drone investigation of HAARP because of Ken's sudden illness, the team has decided to take a much bolder approach. They're going to fly over the HAARP facility in a helicopter, looking for stronger proof that HAARP is active and dangerous.
All set?
It's a very clear night. Perfect conditions under which to fly over the HAARP facility. This way we can take some really in-depth readings and tell whether or not the HAARP facility is still active.
Still a little nervous, but feeling much better than the other night. That was pretty scary, man.
This is the very first time I've ever flown in a helicopter at night, and honestly, it's very unsettling, particularly knowing that we're going to be flying over the HAARP facility in a covert operation.
How far are we from HAARP here? We're about 5 miles out right now. I can get you pretty close. We probably won't be able to fly right over it. Entirely different up here at night. Hard to make out your bearings of where you're at. I don't know which way we're going. Hey guys, look, look. Wow. Holy.
Seeing the aurora borealis at night from a helicopter is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. But it's also strange because I'm not sure what it is at this point. Is this something metaphysical like legends say, or something natural like scientists say, or maybe something man-made by HAARP?
We're actually coming up on it right now. There it is. This is pretty much as close as we're going to be able to get. Wow. Very ominous, though. I mean, look at the way it's just kind of standing out here in the middle of nowhere.
Flying over a top-secret facility, we're not going to have a lot of time. We've got to get our readings quickly and get out of here.
I'm going to bring on the K2. Take some measurements here, Jax. Will you help me out with the documentation?
Yes, sir.
The K2 EMF reader is the quickest way to see if there's any electromagnetism coming from this facility. This will tell us if HAARP is active or not.
Oh my goodness. Wow, that's crazy. That right up. We are definitely getting Massive readings.
Massive reading on the K2. Electromagnetic. Look, it's redlining, guys.
Yeah.
See that,
Taking
Tom?
out, I see that, yeah. Here, whoa!
What's happening? Something's wrong.
Keith, what's going on?
I'm not sure. We definitely have a disturbance of some sort going on here.
Holy cow. Holy crap. Keith, what's going on?
As they attempt to fly over the HAARP facility, the team suddenly experiences some frightening trouble with their chopper.
We definitely have a disturbance of some sort going on here.
We need to get out of here, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, holy cow. Holy crap. Oh. Holy cow.
Look at the compass.
It's all over the place.
It's not right.
I think it's time to get out of here, guys.
Yeah, this doesn't feel right, man. Now what's going on?
More than turbulence.
Okay, let me get it under control here first. Okay, I got it here. We're going to go ahead and head on out of here.
Good deal, yes. You have some sweaty palms, guys.
Man, my stomach's upside down right now.
Yeah.
You all right, Ken?
Yeah. That was weird. That was really, really weird. I think we have enough data now where we can definitely make some determinations.
That was utterly terrifying. Right as I was getting strong EMF readings from HAARP, our helicopter pilot lost control. We know that electromagnetic waves can affect or damage instruments on a helicopter, so maybe that's what was going on. All that matters is the pilot regained control of the craft, and I'm glad to be back on the ground, safe and sound.
Between the readings and the way the helicopter was malfunctioning, no, something's going on.
This place is supposed to be shut down, guys.
What we felt tonight and what we saw the other day with Ken, this place is not shut down.
Yeah, definitely not.
Something's going on.
Our EMF readings strongly suggest that the HAARP facility is still active, despite the fact that they're telling us that the facility's been shut down. And when you consider our experience on the helicopter, it suggests that there's something more going on than what the public knows. These government facilities are covert, and they may be working on something that we may never get concrete proof of. You guys okay?
Just glad to be on the ground.
We're on the ground, we're okay.
That was crazy.
How you feeling, Ken? You're looking a little yellow in there.
Oh, imagine if I didn't have the tinfoil. I'm a little bit rattled right now.
That was a wild ride.
Yeah, you're the Alaska native. I mean, how do you feel about this HAARP stuff?
Well, it is our beliefs that the aurora, the lights, are the spirits that have gone before us, and that they're sending us messages. So with the readings that we got and our equipment today, I think the modern technology could be replicating the ancient phenomenon in a dangerous way.
Let's consider the facts. We know that HAARP is broadcasting waves into the ionosphere. They are essentially creating geomagnetic anomalies. I mean, we experienced that tonight.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to essentially recreate the aurora borealis.
Right.
And that there's so many possible things that they can, achieve with that. They're beaming frequencies back at the Earth that could be used for, weather control or mind control or, all kinds of crazy things. They're saying that they're doing it for defense, for communications, for all these beneficial things, to check the ozone. But chaos theory dictates that one tiny stimulus can create all types of side effects or chain reactions that are completely beyond our comprehensions.
The other side of it, you got to know China and Russia are all involved in this kind of stuff. So if we're not doing it and working on it, then the technology is going to another country, and we got to look at it on that side too. For me, the HAARP technology is a lot like the nuclear weapons race. If someone else has a bomb, the best way to protect yourself is for you to have a bomb. We may never know because they're not giving any answers.
What began as an investigation into the Northern Lights ends as a potential international conspiracy. It's long been known that strange behaviors can be caused by electrical imbalances in the brain. It now seems possible those glitches can be caused by government technology. The team personally experienced high electromagnetic signals from HAARP, as well as frightening occurrences near the facility. But as long as governments hold secrets, we may never know if they're the reason so many go missing in Alaska.